Before we move forward, please like and subscribe to Strategic Vanguard, and please share our videos to be updated with the latest news, reviews, and expert analysis from the world of defense and strategic affairs.
Welcome to the deep dive. Today we're setting sail, you could say, straight into a really big debate. It's probably the most expensive, maybe the most politically charged argument in naval strategy right now.
Yeah, it's that classic face-off. The aircraft carrier. Huge, visible power.
Versus the submarine. Stealthy, deadly, lurking beneath the waves.
Exactly. And this isn't just, big ship versus quiet ship. It's way deeper than that. We're talking deterrence, cost, national pride, even survival. The analysis we're looking at today really digs into this. It covers the history, the arguments for both.
And the new threats, right? The technology changing the game.
Absolutely. And maybe most importantly for our discussion, how this plays out for powers like India facing really tough choices.
So our mission here is to give you a clear path through this complexity. We want to figure out, are carriers these obsolete multi-billion-dollar targets?
Or are they still totally essential, the main tool for projecting power globally?
And yeah, for countries like India, how do they square that circle? The need for prestige versus, hard military facts and budgets.
To really get it, you need to look back a bit. See how naval power shifted in the first place. Because battleships used to be king, didn't they?
Oh, absolutely. But World War II just completely rewrote the rules dramatically. Think about Pearl Harbor in 41,
right.
And then Midway. Those weren't decided by ship cannons.
No, not at all. It was aircraft, launched from carriers, hundreds, thousands of miles away.
So the carrier essentially dethroned the battleship. Its reach was just revolutionary.
Yep. But what's really interesting is that submarines were becoming just as deadly at the same time, but in a totally different way. While carriers were hitting targets over the horizon.
German U-boats were causing chaos in the Atlantic, that convoy war. Britain nearly starved.
It was incredibly effective.
Yeah.
And in the Pacific, you had U.S. submarines doing something similar, maybe less talked about.
Definitely less publicized, yeah, but they were vital. Choking off Japan's supply lines, strangling their war effort.
So yet these two new power players emerged simultaneously. The carrier for reach, the sub for denial. For destruction.
And the Cold War kind of locked those roles in place, didn't it?
It really did. The U.S. went all in on the carrier for global power projection. Need an airbase anywhere fast? Send a carrier group.
Right, a floating piece of sovereign territory, essentially.
While the nuclear submarine, it took on this almost existential role.
You mean the missile boats, the SSBNs?
Exactly, carrying ballistic missiles. They became the ultimate safety net. Hidden, always moving, basically untouchable.
The core of the nuclear deterrent for many nations, that second strike guarantee.
That's the key. Silent, deep, ensuring that even if everything else is gone, you can still hit back. Devastatingly.
Okay, so if subs were that lethal back in the 40s, and they're the ultimate deterrent now, why are we still building these massive, expensive floating air bases? What's the case for the carrier today?
It really boils down to two main things: projecting power in a way nothing else can, and diplomacy. A carrier battle group offers sustained defensive power. It's a mobile air wing. You can launch complex missions far away, often without needing anyone's permission to use their bases.
That independence is huge.
It is. And then there's the diplomatic side. Carriers are just enormous symbols.
Hard to miss.
Very hard to miss. Sailing one into a contested area, say the South China Sea or near the Arabian Sea, it sends an immediate, powerful message. Commitment, capability, all in one package.
And we see nations really chasing that capability, right? Especially in the Indo-Pacific.
Definitely. Look at India's journey. They've wanted that blue water capability for decades. Started with the first INS Vikrant back in '61.
Then the Vikramaditya, and now the new homegrown INS Vikrant commissioned in 2022. That's a huge statement of intent.
A massive national project. And China, of course, is right there, arguably pushing even harder now.
The Liaoning, Shandong, and now the Fujian. That's a serious carrier fleet they're building.
They're directly aiming to challenge U.S. naval dominance, far from their own coasts. It's unambiguous.
But hang on, the cost. You mentioned it earlier. The U.S. Navy figures are, over $13 billion just to build a new carrier? Never mind the planes, the escorts, the running costs.
It's astronomical.
So is that kind of money really worth it just for prestige or diplomatic signaling? Doesn't that massive cost just make the submarine look even more attractive?
It absolutely strengthens the submarine argument, which is all about pragmatism, stealth, lethality, and yes, bang for your buck, cost effectiveness.
Right. The core idea being, for the price of one carrier group, mostly for showing the flag in peacetime, you could maybe get several subs designed specifically for winning a war.
That's the trade-off naval planners grapple with. Nuclear attack subs, the SSNs, they patrol undetected. They don't just survive in dangerous waters, they make those waters dangerous for the enemy. Their invisibility is their strength.
And they have very specific strategic uses. For India, getting the Arian-class SSBNs online was a game changer. A credible, survivable nuclear deterrent.
A massive strategic leap, yes. But even their conventional subs, like the Scorpiones, are critical. Think about controlling choke points.
Like the Malacca Strait.
Exactly. Something like 40% of world trade goes through there. If you can threaten shipping in that narrow strait with a few quiet submarines, that gives you enormous leverage, doesn't it?
Huge economic leverage. And that highlights the asymmetric advantage, the way subs level the playing field.
That's why China's investing so heavily in them alongside carriers. It's a direct counter to expensive U.S. carrier groups. And for smaller navies, Vietnam, Pakistan, Iran subs offer a credible punch without needing a superpower's budget.
They can't achieve sea control, maybe, but they can achieve sea denial, make it too risky for a bigger power to operate freely.
Precisely. It's a potent capability for the cost.
Okay, this is where things get really dicey for the carrier advocates, the modern threats. Has technology finally made these floating cities too vulnerable?
Well, the vulnerability isn't just theory anymore. It's a very real concern. Modern weapons are targeting the carrier's biggest weakness, its size and visibility. We're seeing specific weapons developed just for this. Hypersonic anti-ship missiles.
Like the Chinese DF-21D, the DF-26, the carrier killers.
Those are the ones causing the most sleepless nights, yes.
What makes them so scary? Is it just the speed?
The speed is part of it, Mach 5 or more. That cuts down reaction time dramatically. But it's also their flight path, often high, and their ability to maneuver in the final stage. Makes them incredibly difficult to intercept.
So the nightmare scenario is a multi-billion-dollar carrier packed with thousands of personnel taken out by a missile costing a fraction of that.
That's the fear, that extreme asymmetry. It potentially changes the entire strategic calculation of deploying carriers close to a peer competitor.
But carriers aren't undefended, surely. They have layers of protection, destroyers, cruisers, close-in weapons.
They absolutely do. Very sophisticated defenses. But those defenses are designed for older threats, against coordinated volleys of hypersonic weapons. The odds of one getting through increase significantly. Plus, carriers are just hard to hide. Their electronic emissions, the air traffic, their heat signature.
They stand out.
They really do. And now you add other emerging threats, like drone swarms. It gets complicated fast.
Whereas submarines...
Submarines remain fundamentally hard to find. Anti-submarine warfare, ASW, is incredibly complex and expensive. Even the best navies struggle with it. The ocean is big and deep.
So the key takeaway is that for the first time, really, since maybe World War II, a major power has developed credible, long-range conventional weapons specifically designed to neutralize the aircraft carrier.
That seems to be the assessment, yes. And it forces navies to think about operating carriers much farther out, potentially reducing their immediate impact.
Which brings us right back to India, because they face this exact dilemma, but with serious budget limitations. This must be the central debate inside the Indian Navy.
Oh, absolutely. It's not just a technical discussion. It's about fundamental national strategy. Do you invest in a third carrier with all the prestige and cost that entails?
Plus the escort ships, the aircraft wing. It's a huge commitment.
A massive commitment. Or do you funnel those resources into more nuclear submarines? Both attack subs, the SSNs, and potentially more ballistic missile subs, the SSBNs.
And the cost difference is stark, isn't it? We talked about the build cost, but the lifetime operational cost of one carrier group
could potentially fund several next-gen nuclear attack submarines. It's a brutal trade-off.
But carriers are visible. Politicians like them. They show up for disaster relief. They fly the flag.
Exactly. They fulfill that political need to be seen as a major power. They deliver prestige.
So subs deliver, well, deterrence, survivability, especially in wartime.
And for India, look at their geography. They've got Pakistan to worry about in the Arabian Sea, China's growing influence in the Bay of Bengal, plus that critical Malacca Strait access.
So they need presence in multiple areas.
Right. And subs are arguably better suited for controlling those strategic choke points and ensuring the nuclear deterrent remains secure, especially against a more powerful adversary like China.
So the military logic might lean towards subs, but the political logic, the prestige,
leans towards carriers. It's a classic guns versus butter type argument, but on a massive naval scale. Signaling strength versus ensuring survival. It's tough.
So looking globally, what are the trends? Is everyone facing this same dilemma?
We see different approaches. The U.S. still has the biggest carrier fleet by far, but they're also investing heavily in unmanned underwater vehicles, next-gen subs. They're trying to dominate underwater too.
Doubling down, almost.
In a way, yes. China, as we said, is going full steam ahead on both carriers and a huge submarine fleet. They seem determined to have it all, reflecting their ambitions.
What about smaller powers or U.S. allies?
Many are leaning towards submarines and anti-accessory denial systems. Think Australia, Japan. They aren't trying to build global carrier fleets. They're focusing on making their own maritime approaches very dangerous for any potential aggressor. Subs and advanced missiles fit that strategy better.
So it sounds like the ideal future, if you had unlimited money, wouldn't be choosing one or the other.
Probably not. The ideal, perhaps unaffordable for most, is likely a hybrid approach, integrating carriers and submarines. Carriers provide the visible power projection, the air power.
And the subs provide the stealth, the sea denial, the guaranteed deterrence.
Exactly. They complement each other, covering different aspects of naval power.
So, summing this all up, carriers grab the headlines. They're politically potent, visually impressive, useful in peacetime.
No doubt about it. They dominate the narrative.
But submarines, they shape the actual outcomes in a conflict, often silently, invisibly. They're about deterrence and denial when push comes to shove.
They're the hidden hand, you could say.
So the real challenge for you listening to this, especially thinking about the Indo-Pacific, it's that Indian dilemma. How do you balance the visible prestige of something like the INS Vikrant?
A magnificent ship, a symbol of national achievement.
With the absolutely vital but hidden practicality and survival insurance provided by something like the Arihant-class submarines.
That's the tightrope they have to walk.
And maybe the ultimate test isn't about picking one. It's about finding that smart blend within your means. Because the nation that truly masters both the skies above the waves and the shadows beneath them.
Well, they're the ones who likely hold the decisive edge in the very contested seas of the 21st century.
Thank you for joining us on this Strategic Vanguard podcast. If you found value in this analysis, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel. We bring you fresh podcasts every Monday here on YouTube and Rumble, and you can also catch the audio versions on Spotify and Amazon Music. Just search for Strategic Vanguard Podcast. For more insights, articles, and discussions, subscribe to our blog at strategicvanguard.com. Your support helps us grow and bring you more in-depth analysis on defense, geopolitics, and strategy. Until next time, stay informed, stay strategic.